When I look back upon my life, the 22 years of being in a religious cult, born into it, escaping from it, and then 6 years in another cult, getting out of that, and that was 24 years ago. Sometimes I ask myself, why don't I just put it all behind me and forget about it? But then there's something inside me that wanted to tell the world, because it was okay for me. I'm free from it. I've had massive healings from it. I've moved on. But there's people who are trapped, and I know the feeling of that, being in this sort of void where you can't imagine you'll ever get out. And it was quite horrific, actually. And I thought it would be mean if I didn't share my experience at least, and add to the other stories that are out there on the internet and on YouTube, just to help create awareness of what's going on. And one of the many topics that relate to religious cults is indoctrination. And indoctrination is being taught something whereby your critical thinking and analysis is deadened. You have none. I know of a cult leader who said, "I'll do the thinking and you do the doing," to his gullible followers. But these followers are people who were born into the cult, who are multi-generational, and it's not just that easy just to see through when a man tells you that he'll do the thinking, you do the doing. And so I was indoctrinated, and when I look back, how important was it? How big of an issue was it? How much abuse actually was it? And when I add everything up, not wanting to be sensational or over dramatic, but I feel I was buggered and raped, not physically of course, but in my soul. And it was done from a man who I couldn't see. He was 3,000 miles away, and he controlled my life, most aspects of my life. He controlled the length of my hair. He controlled what clothes I couldn't wear, where I couldn't go, where I couldn't eat, who I couldn't eat with, who I couldn't marry, where I couldn't live, what I had to do 10 times a week, which was go to 10 meetings. And we had to live in a detached house. We couldn't have pets, although before that rule came in we could. And so it's just like typical of cults, that they have their own religious rules and regulations and laws, and you're held under a grip of fear that should you disobey, then you will lose your family. And it's quite simple. It's like religious mafia, whereby it's unspoken, you know, they don't go around putting the finger in your face and saying you're going to lose your family if you disobey us, but that's what happens, and everybody knows it. So that's what happens if you do not follow the regulations and rules and laws and stipulations by these cult leaders. And so indoctrination, that's what it felt like to me. It felt, at the time it didn't feel like it, but when I look back, that's what it was. It was absolute the violation of my free will, with no consideration for what I might have wanted. It took over my life completely, as it did with my family. And the ones who left, like I did when I was 22, the leader indoctrinates the followers to have absolutely nothing more to do with them. And although now he's sort of shifted on that law by saying that it's down to the personal discretion, nah, be real. My family still haven't contacted me in over 30 years, and I'm just making that point. I'm not complaining, I'm campaigning. And so there it is. Indoctrination. Were you indoctrinated? How big of an issue do you think it is? How it actually felt at the time was as normal as brushing your teeth in the morning, having your breakfast, going to school, going to work, going to bed at night. It was felt absolutely normal. And this is one of the funny things about it, is that there's lots of abuse going on in this world which is so normalised, and this is one case whereby you would rather bury your head in the sand and just get on with your life. And that's what people are doing, but the cost is destroyed families, which is, when you're used to it, you aren't that affected by it, if you know what I mean. You just get on with it, don't you? But what it actually is a travesty of justice, a travesty of the decency of humanity. And this campaign that I created about 4 years ago on the internet, cultescape.com, and the YouTube channel, and the book Cult Escape, which you can get off Amazon, but you can get it free as an ebook on Amazon Unlimited, and you don't have to buy the book because you can hear it on YouTube. I'm narrating every chapter, although this chapter, chapter 16 on indoctrination, this is just a summary, just a few thoughts about it, because it's quite a detailed chapter. And so if you're interested in more about that, try and get it free off Amazon Unlimited or whatever you want. Thank you for listening, and I'm just in the field here in on the Wirral Peninsula, and I just thought, you know, there's times when the sun is going down and the fields are green, and you just got to take the opportunity when it arises, haven't you? Especially when you're narrating a book. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon.